Well, the world waits for Syria's response to the Arab League's demands to pull tanks off the streets and start a dialogue with the opposition. Earlier, Syrian President Assad said that he would only talk to parties that have no links to foreign powers or what he called terrorism. Some 3,000 people have already been killed since clashes between anti-government protesters and security forces began some 8 months ago. With that death toll still on the rise, RT's Tesa Arcilla now reports from Damascus.
The protests, government crackdowns and violence that continue to plague parts of Syria, the capital Damascus is still largely sheltered from. But beneath the calm, many will remind you that in Syria, walls most certainly have ears. The Mukhabarat, the country's intelligence service, has political clout in Syria. That's hardly state secret. And since the unrest began in March, protesters have accused them of violent interrogations.
I was chased and arrested by security forces. In a very tiny cell, they beat me severely, damaging my back and knee. They electrocuted me. They accused us all of receiving money for taking to the streets. They said we're agents of America and Israel. After 48 hours of detention and torture, they took all my money and belongings and threw me out into the street.
Syrian Khoury is a lawyer who deals with detention cases. She says the influence of the security police extends even into the courtroom.
We have three authorities in the country, the legal authority, the legislative and the executive. But it is the security police who make the real decisions. The court judge awaits for their decision, and I feel sorry for the judge because he's not independent.
Khoury believes this constant state of fear is thanks to decades of living under the emergency law, in place since 1963. In 2011, Assad repealed it to appease anti-regime protesters. This man, who's worked for the Mukhabarat for 27 years, sustained gunshot wounds in what he says was an ambush by a group of terrorists. We asked him about people's fear of the Mukhabarat and accusations that they are behind the violence, detentions and torture.
This is the wrong idea. We're protecting our people, but the terrorists shoot civilians and shoot us, and then accuse security forces of doing such things. Accusations that we instill fear are also wrong. If this person has political activity without any intention of harming the country, then he is free to do this and no one will chase him. But if he has links with terrorists and works against the country, naturally he will be brought to justice.
We posed the same questions to the Deputy Foreign Minister.
You know, it depends on the people you talk to. If you ask me as a regular citizen of Syria, I will tell you a different view. I have never, ever been asked by the security or anybody for something which I am doing. Those who fear are either people who take part in illegal activities or carry arms or put themselves in suspicious ways.
Well, this right here is a very open and colorful slice of Syrian life. But when it comes to talking about the security services, like anywhere, it is shrouded by intrigue. But here, their presence is so widely felt that it's not quite possible to determine just what locals feel is normal and what isn't. And when 20% of the population is rumored to be in the intelligence service, it's no wonder many prefer to keep their voices down in the light of day. But within a crowd, that fear is temporarily forgotten.
Yes, I'll take to the streets again and again. I'll raise my voice and I will fear nothing and no one. We want freedom of expression, but we get nothing. Only Bashar al-Assad and his security men enjoy that. As for us, we are nothing. Why is that?
Tesa Arcilla, RT.